Let's face it, goals are like lottery tickets. What do I mean? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Medicare Marketing and Sales Podcast, where we give mediocre Medicare advice to insurance agents. I'm your host, Mike Catorna. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I'm recording this right now, it's December 30th. And what does everyone do around New Year's? They write down New Year's resolutions. So we're going to talk about goal setting today and why I think that I need to get better at it. And hopefully, the research I did for my goals next year will help you. And I realized that, buying a lottery ticket is a lot like setting a goal. Because when you buy a lottery ticket, there's no strategy. You buy the ticket, you hope and dream for a couple minutes about winning and what you would do with the millions and millions of dollars that you would win. Maybe pay off all your debt, big house, fancy car, send kids to college, savings, vacations, whatever your goals are or hopes and dreams are. With that money, you go ahead and dream about, and then you go about your lives. Your chance of winning is nil to none. So you don't win. And then it was fun for a second and you go about your lives. And according to numerous research, 92% of people, when they set New Year's resolutions, they fail within the first couple weeks. Because it's just like buying that lottery ticket. You write down the goal, you think about, if I lose weight or become more successful or, do this or that, this is what my life would look like. And then they go about their lives, don't think about it, and that goal is just a distant memory at best. So that's all folks. In the mortal words of a Porky Pig, excuse me, that's what we got. Just kidding. So the difference in the research I've been doing and watching videos, listening to other podcasts and people much smarter than me is goals need results, right? You have to have results, some sort of path of results to achieve that goal, but results need action. You can't just write something down and expect it to happen. And that's always make me chuckle when people talk about the secret. Like, you just will it out there, it'll happen. Well, if I just will for my grass to get cut, it's not going to get cut until I fire up that lawnmower and actually cut the grass. Or in my case, call my lawn service because I don't cut grass and have them cut the grass. But I need to take some action to get that done. I can't just think about getting it accomplished. I can't think about cleaning my office and having it done. I actually have to get up and clean my office. Same thing with your goals. And that's the meat and potatoes of goals, because anyone can write down a goal, and most people are not willing to work to achieve that goal. It's kind of like getting in shape. If your goal is to get in better shape this year, are you willing to go to the gym? Are you willing to be more active? Are you willing to change your diet, right? Simply saying, I'm going to lose 15 pounds this year and doing nothing different than you did last year, your chances of success are pretty nil, just like winning the lottery. For insurance agents, do you want to be more successful in 2025? Well, what does that look like? Are you willing to offer your portfolio at every appointment, i.e., cross sell? Because that's a great way to quickly accelerate your success, but it takes a little bit of effort at every appointment to talk about other lines of coverage you have to your clients and prospects. Are you willing to do more marketing? Do you have an email newsletter that you've been thinking about doing for the past 2 years that still hasn't been launched yet? Are you willing to be more active on social media? Are you willing to do local seminars? Are you willing to put yourself out there more? Talk to other local professionals to set up a referral network. Are you willing to ask for referrals or your clients and prospects? So all these things take action. Thinking about doing something and actually doing something are two very different things and have two very different outcomes. So anyone could write it down, but that's only, in my opinion, 1% of getting it done. So, and I watched a TED Talk yesterday, and what's fresh in my mind, and they talked about goal setting with one piece of paper. So the top of break it down into thirds, and kind of goes along with this podcast. So the top third is your specific goal, not just be more successful, but how. I'm going to be more successful by offering hospital indemnity with every Medicare Advantage appointment. I'm going to become more successful by offering cancer and explaining why cancer coverage is important at every single appointment, or life insurance, or whatever. Insert any product there, or whatever your goal is. Drill down and be very specific. The second part was the action step. How are you going to do that? What action steps and by what date? Like, I'm going to work on my scripting, the first week of January, and start implementing it the second week of January. So you have very specific guidelines on what you're going to do and how you're going to get there. So it's not just hoping you do it, it's here are the steps to actually accomplish that. The third part we haven't talked about yet, and this is one thing that changed my life for the much, much better, was having someone to hold you accountable. We are very good as individuals, self included, if something doesn't go well, we're so good at excusing ourselves and saying, oh, well, I had a bad week. It's okay. I deserve to have a bad week. Or I didn't do a lot this week, but that's okay because I'm okay. I worked hard last week, so I could be lazy this week. Well, this is why I always say that captive agents tend to be more successful than independent agents. I get a lot of flack for that, but hear me out. Most people throughout their lives have accountability. When you're a child, you have your parents. When you go to school, you have your teachers. When you go to college, you have your professors. When you go into workforce, you have managers, bosses, etc. to make sure you do your expectations. Like if your job is to bartend, you got to show up. You got to know how to make drinks. You got to actually serve people, and there's a manager there to watch you. When you're a captive insurance agent, you have a manager. So if you have a bad week, that manager is going, hey, what's going on? Why did you have a bad week in sales? Let's look at your week. What did you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And I know this for a fact because I was captive with a sales manager that would hold us accountable, right? If we got leads, we had to make sure we put those leads in the CRM, and then we had to actually write down what happened to those leads. So, or disposition, as they called it. All your leads had to be dispositioned. So any manager can go in the system, look at the leads you were given, and see exactly what happened to that lead. Did you call them? Did you make contact? Did you have an appointment? Was it a sale? Yada, yada, yada. So all that had to be done. Now, if you don't have a manager, guess what? It's really easy to slack off. Oh, I didn't put my leads in. That's okay. And then before you know it, you've got a stack of data entry to do. And let's face it, most salespeople hate data entry, myself included. So we put it off. We say, we're just going to get behind, and then we'll get further behind, and then we're just lost, and life is 10 times more worse. Point is, have someone hold you accountable. I have a business coach, Amanda. She's amazing. She holds me accountable every other week. I have to write down 3 things I'm going to do, and every other week, the first thing we do is, here's what you said you were going to get done. Did you do those? Now, I'm not saying you have to hire a business coach, but have someone. It could be another insurance agent. It could be someone else in the field of sales. Preferably, I like someone in person because then I could sit down, have coffee with them, and have a much better relationship with that person as opposed to being online, because online is easy to blow up as well. So if you know every week you're meeting someone at 9 o'clock on Thursday to review your goals and your actions, you're more prone to be better at them. It's kind of like having an accountability buddy, as we've called them in the past, or someone holding you accountable to go to the gym. If you think I need to go to the gym every morning at 6 a.m. and you're kind of like, I'm going to sleep in, but Bob's going to be there waiting for me. If I don't go, he's going to, hold me accountable. You're more prone to go to the gym. Same with your goals in insurance. If you know you're meeting with Bob every Thursday at 9 o'clock, you're more prone to have those goals done or do those accomplishments because you're meeting with them, or have a small accountability group. Maybe have 4 or 5 people. And that's what we did. Every other week, we had a mastermind call, we called it. For 4 people, we each got 15 minutes to talk about what we said we're going to do, how the results were, and what we're going to do next. So if you could find that group locally, great, or maybe find it online, but have someone holding you accountable to make sure you do what you're going to do. So, moral of this podcast, since it's New Year's, so happy New Year's, everyone, is let's make sure we accomplish our goals this year. Let's make sure we get specific with our goals. We know exactly what the goal looks like. Not, I want to be more successful, but how? How are you be more successful? What exactly does that look like? What exact steps do you have to take or start taking to accomplish that goal? And again, they're your goals. So if you start going in a certain direction, doesn't work out, you could always pivot. The point is you're taking action. You're not hoping it works out. You're taking action that works out. And last but not least, you have someone in your life, whether it be a spouse, a a coworker, a friend, a relative, whoever that's holding you accountable to make sure that you're doing what you say you're going to do so you can't give yourself lame excuses. So, again, Happy New Year. We'll talk more about goals throughout the year. I'm happy to help out anyone I can. You can always reach out medicarepodcast@gmail.com or visit medicarepodcast.net for more information. So until next time, go out there, have fun, make money, and give impeccable service, and Happy New Year.